Okay, say the angles, please.
Roger, roll 002.5.
We choose to go to the moon.
Pitch 289.3. Yaw 357. Apollo 11, this is Houston. Stand by, please.
Roger, 346.5, 345.0, and 7.8, thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Max and welcome back to Hot Ones. So, as a watch nerd, I totally ascribe to the adage that every collection needs a Speedmaster. But for that very reason, it can also feel like that everybody and their cousin Vinny has a Speedmaster Pro. Now, don't get me wrong, the standard Speedmaster Professional is still a watch that I would recommend many people as their first luxury piece. But having handled a couple dozen Speedmasters at this point, I really wanted to find something different, which led me to this 1957 reissue. And as you'll hopefully see, this often overlooked model may just be the best Speedmaster for your money. The 1957 reissue, also sometimes called the re-edition, or unfortunately the replica, was introduced in 1997 on the 40th anniversary of the first Speedmaster, the CK2915. The watch had just a 6-year production run, but fortunately was not limited in numbers, which means no fancy writing on the case back. Frankly, I find this a bit less on the nose than the verbose standard Speedy Pro. Of course, being vintage inspired, it retains that bubbly Hesalite acrylic crystal, but has the twisted lugs we've come to love on modern Speedmasters. Let's talk dimensions. The case is identical to the standard Speedy with a diameter of 42 millimeters, 2 of which are due to the asymmetric crown guards on the right side. Even then, it's not a small watch. But then you wouldn't want your spacefaring instrument to be dainty either. The headline feature would have to be that broad arrow hour hand, which was replaced in later 2915s due to it sometimes obscuring the subdials. It is such a striking design that I tend to forgive its faults, regardless of how many 14-second thruster burns I have to time, which is never. The keen-eyed collector will also notice that the brushed stainless steel bezel features the base 1000 print, as a nod to early pre-moon models. The movement is the familiar Lemania-based 1861 found on modern Speedmasters of today, which is a direct descendant of the original 321. It is not as cutting edge as the newer coaxials from Omega, but then again, you don't buy a moonwatch to count the number of jewels. Now, we have to address some of the criticisms lobbied at this watch. Some feel like by featuring the twisted lyre lugs and the crown guard, that the design of this watch strays from the original. I can see the purist argument there, but for me personally, I don't much care that this isn't an exact replica of the 1957 watch. In fact, I feel like these details represent improvements that Omega has made to the Speedmaster over time. Now, before we get back to the watch, I just want to say that you can really help out this channel continue to make videos like this by doing all of those YouTube things, like giving this video a thumbs up, hitting that subscribe button, and the bell icon below. If you're already a subscriber, you're awesome, and we appreciate it. The utilization of stainless steel throughout gives this watch an industrial tool-like persona. The reflection off these broad hands are dramatic at certain angles, really conjuring those 50s vibes. Looking closely, the dial is more of a faded matte gray compared to normal Speedmasters. The steel bezel also has the added benefit of reducing the apparent size of the watch, which makes it kinder on slender wrists. It's the details that matter, and cost was not spared here with an applied Omega logo and matching vintage font. The bracelet is your standard Speedmaster affair, which means it's robust but unrefined. The end link has a protruding middle section that does not articulate. The bracelet itself doesn't taper, and a deployant clasp holds it all together. The watch shares so many similarities with the Speedmaster Pro, but has enough distinctions to be its own entity, all the while avoiding the pretension of a special edition. For an even more precise rendition of the original 2915, you may want to look at the 60th anniversary. It has a more faithful 38.6mm size without crown guards, straight lugs, and a flat link bracelet. But the faux patina lume and the $6,000 price tag make it an acquired taste. So with a bit of patience on the secondhand market, this reissue looks like the bargain of the century, which is why I suggest you don't sleep on this Speedmaster. So I'd say if you're looking for a Speedmaster that's off the beaten path, give this broad arrow a look. The marketing department at Omega really shot themselves in the foot by calling it a 1957 replica, but you can take advantage of that mistake and get a really unique piece without paying that special edition premium. So in the comments below, let me know what else you think are other sleeper Speedmaster models. Well, that's a tongue twister. So thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.
We've got an updated attitude for you on the slingshot observation.
Okay.